today we are doing underrated versus overrated artists. And I think there's some honorable mentions of some fairly rated, maybe.
Yeah, there's fairly rated in here too. Not honorable mentions, so it's underrated, overrated, properly rated.
We did something like this when we first started the channel, and we were horrible at this YouTube thing back then. So
now we're better at it.
And we don't really do conversation bits anymore.
Yeah.
And we should try to do that more again.
I got my list on my phone. It's a lot.
Yeah, so, that is a lot.
Yeah, dude,
I do not have a physical list, but I'm just gonna chime in.
So my first person, Baby Keem. I remember when we first did this list.
What, underrated?
Properly rated. When we first did this list, I had him as underrated. But now a lot of people talk about Baby Keem since he released the deluxe of his album.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people just talk about Baby Keem now.
He gets hyped up. What?
You just saw so sarcastic when you said that.
No, he gets hyped up. Like, everyone's like, he's the new Kendrick. Like, everyone thinks that that's his replacement.
A lot of people are talking about it. Probably because he's his cousin. I don't think they're similar at all.
I don't either. I don't understand the comparison, except that they've collabed. And Family Ties is fire.
And they're cousins. That's why.
And
he's the new Kendrick. And I believe they're also cousins. All right,
who
do you got? Even though,
hopefully it's not like a Kevin Gaze type situation with his cousin.
Well, I hope not. Dude, that would be crazy.
Do I just open up the vid, just upsetting everybody?
Sure.
Do I do that?
Why not? I don't care.
Okay.
Go.
Overrated. Playboi Carti. One of the most overrated artists in the game right now.
I did not have him on my list.
Seriously?
Yeah. He's not on my list. But I was also making this list last second. I have Playboi Carti. Well, I would have him at overrated as well. Playboi Carti used to be good. He used to make good music, but then he just fell off a cliff. Like, a lot of people just forget how to make music. He was one of those people. And people say his album was... Well, actually, let me go. You said it. You said it. Mm-hmm. So you explain why you think he's overrated. So you said it. My bad. My fault.
I do agree. Die Lit. That was a nice little era of Carti. That was cool. But... still, if he was getting rated like this with Die Lit, I would still call him overrated.
Alright, that's valid.
But Whole Lotta Red, yes, he does have a whole lot of influence. You're right. He has all these new artists on TikTok copying him, and they're all trash. His influence is horrible. And I'm not even saying you have to have lyricism, but if you're not gonna have lyricism, at least be a vibe.
He has production.
Or have flow. He has production, sure. So the one good quality about Playboi Carti is something that he doesn't even handle himself. He's extremely overrated. Him, Yeat, all those other dudes, they're overrated. That's my point.
But hey, leave those for later on in the situation. Yes. Whole Lotta Red. Oh, you just have to listen to it a few times. If the album is not good after the first listen.
Yeah, you don't need something to grow on. Yeah, for it to be good.
Obviously, if you're gonna listen to it multiple times, it's gonna grow on you. That's kind of how things work. If you force yourself to like it, you're gonna like it eventually. If you listen to it 6-7 times, and people are saying it's the next coming of like. Jesus Christ almost. That's how they make it seem. That's how they make it seem, bro. Like they're saying it's so good that it's basically Jesus Christ out here. I'm gonna go into my next person. Uzi.
As
Crazy
what?
Take. Slightly underrated. Because Uzi, listen, hear me out. Uzi gets talked about, but for all the wrong reasons. So he's talked about for, his personality. Obviously, it's gonna rub people the wrong way. Talked about for the way he dresses, that stuff. So obviously Uzi gets talked about in that sense, and he gets talked about for songs like Out, XxTentacion, and Just Wanna Rock, songs that are just big radio songs that aren't that good. So he gets talked about in the wrong reasons, but people don't understand his flow, his delivery, his vibe. They don't understand that past the radio hits. So in that aspect, slightly underrated.
But I think your issue is because he hasn't dropped. He put out Eternal Take and he just has disappeared except for Just Wanna Rock.
No.
And then
the Red plus White EP.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Never mind.
Okay.
And you
can
agree that was
fire. That EP was fire. So never mind.
And that EP didn't really get talked about at all. No one talked about it.
It got brushed under the rug.
Yeah. Nothing. And that has some of the greatest songs of all.
It's because it was SoundCloud exclusive.
Well, no, and then they dropped it on Spotify and Apple Music.
They did,
remember?
Bro, I just blanked on the CP apparently.
Bro, blanked on it.
Yeah,
see, that's my point exactly. That's my point exactly. Alright, I have NLE.
Oh no.
NLE Choppa.
That's what?
Slightly overrated.
Overrated? Who talks about Choppa?
A lot of people talk about Choppa. A lot of people talk about Choppa. And maybe they don't really talk about him for his music, but like his streaming and stuff. But when they do talk about his music, they talk about the old stuff. Old stuff is amazing.
That's his good
Old
stuff.
Choppa is good.
That's his good stuff.
Choppa forgot how to make music. No offense, Mr. Chopper, if you're seeing this.
I honestly, Choppa, he goes for TikTok hits now.
Yep.
That's exactly what he does. That Do It Again or whatever.
Yeah, he goes for TikTok hits.
He's done a bunch of songs like that.
So he's kind of just like, oh, man. And I get he wanted to change his style. He didn't want to rap about, the guns and stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which, understand.
He wanted to try to
you
switch
change
it
your
up.
personality, so you want to switch your music, which is good. But now the music he's making is not even like, I don't know. It's weird. It's not that good. So in the sense of music, not that good. Choppa as a person, I'm sure he's great. Seems pretty cool guy.
He does.
Polo G. Underrated.
Underrated.
No one talks about Polo. And when they talk about Polo, they say he's trash. Like Piano G,
Okay.
Golo G, saying he's an L, saying he's trash, saying he can't switch up his flow. When he definitely has a lot.
This is true.
Some of his new music
stuff sounds different.
It's not piano music. It's not the same melodic stuff. And then he dropped the Hall of Fame 2.0.
2.0.
None of that was. Well, some of it was piano, but
none
of it was.
Point. Yeah.
None of it was. And nobody talked about it.
Yep.
Yes, it was like
It's
a
fire.
year or two ago now. Maybe it was just a year. Maybe it was just 2022.
It's been
Maybe a year and
end
a
of
half.
21. I think.
No, because that's when regular Hall of Fame dropped. No Time Wasted. Kind of a different beat. Different beat. Like.
Yeah, his recent singles haven't been up to par.
But then we have songs like Better Days snapped on that. Everybody was talking about that.
That was a great feature.
I know somebody we were talking about earlier who he thinks underrated.
Who I think's underrated?
I mean overrated.
Overrated. Who are you thinking of?
Drake. You think Drake's
Oh,
overrated?
yeah, okay. He was in my head.
He was in your head.
I just wasn't sure.
Give the people.
That
give the
takes kind of wow. I'm gonna have some. Yeah,
You think Drake's overrated?
Takes.
You want to know what I think about Drake?
Don't say underrated. If you put him as underrated,
Let me find him. Let me find him in my thing.
Nah, because we discussed.
I put he's properly rated.
Okay.
I think.
I can get
you
behind
go.
that.
You go before.
If he was said underrated, I would have lost it.
You go.
No, he's a great artist, but I don't. Y'all consider him like the greatest of the generation, and he is not. He's not above. Like, I don't know. People put him above K-Dot and Cole, and that's bizarre to me. It's
because of the numbers.
It is because of the numbers, and that's another thing. The numbers he gets, I don't think he should be getting those kind of numbers.
See, that's where I disagree. I think he deserves to get those numbers.
I don't think so.
I think he makes music for everybody. If you like any kind of genre of music, you like a Drake song. You'll find a Drake song that you like.
That's very true.
And so, like, the way he makes music for all genres, I think he deserves to get the numbers because of all of those genres. If you look at songs where he's just rapping, not as good numbers. But if you look at songs like Hotline Bling, God's Plan, anybody can listen to. Not really explicit songs. You can listen to it with your family. They deserve to get that numbers because people don't really make music like that.
That's very
so
true.
I think that songs like that deserve to get those numbers. And if you look at his other music, that aren't really, super. If it's not a hit for Drake standards at least, if it'll be a hit for somebody else's standards. But if it's not a hit for Drake standards, it won't get those type of rating or type of numbers, which is why I think he's properly rated. As not all of his songs are hits, and they show that with the numbers. My next people, I'll just put my next three all in one. YB, overrated. Babytron, overrated. Yeat, overrated. We've expressed why we think they're overrated so many times on the channel. And it's not going to change, in my opinion at least.
Yeah,
I don't think any of that's going to change unless they become like, the next coming of J. Cole, K-Dot, and all them. I think they're overrated because they don't put effort into their music really. Maybe you could say they do. I don't think they do. I think they try to just make hits.
I disagree on Babytron's behalf.
You think he puts effort in?
He definitely puts effort in. I mean, he has the flow. He has great punchlines. They're not correlated. That's what we don't like. He doesn't have the lyricism ability to where they're correlated.
I don't think he's a bad artist if he didn't get the hype that he gets. If he got like sub-level hype, like maybe like DC the Don hype, which I'll mention soon. If he got DC the Don hype, then I'd be like, alright, Babytron's a properly rated artist. He gets, mid-level hype, not like, the hype of all these newer upcoming artists that are like at the top of the game for numbers. Like 2023 newer upcoming artists at the top of the game for numbers, not like,
That's very true.
older people. But It gets talked about like he's one of the greatest of our
like he's like the greatest in the new wave.
Right.
Yeah.
And next, do you have somebody?
Keep going.
Next, I have Denzel Curry. I think he's
Okay.
underrated. And honestly, I could switch that to slightly underrated because he does get talked about more after Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
After that,
Yes.
he was getting talked about more.
Yeah, he has been getting more like
in the game, so I'd say he's slightly underrated, but he still is not talked about as much for how good he is, for how much like good music he makes. I know Walker was in the Scream 6 movie, so that was getting.
I heard about that. I heard about that, and that song's so good.
Yeah, so it's good that he's getting the recognition he deserves, but he should get more recognition. So slightly underrated for me.
Where do you think I'm going with this?
Do you think he's underrated or next J. Cole?
What?
Wait, what?
Jid.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, you were
Jid-
going for another person.
Jid is getting a lot of light now. I can't say he's like, oh,
Yeah.
no one talks about it. Like Jid, ever since Forever Story dropped, he's been all over TikTok. People are starting to appreciate him. His tour's been going crazy. I've been seeing so many clips of his concerts. I think he's still slightly underrated.
You still think he's slightly underrated?
I think he's still not appreciated enough, just because of how phenomenal he is. But he is starting to get the light, and I think it's just an honorable
I think
mention.
Once people realize about him, same with him and Denzel, that them two are the top of our generation right now, or top of the new generation.
And they're starting to realize that.
When people like finally realize that that's like a decade on and cold for us, maybe they'll do the numbers for that eventually. Once people realize that, is when they'll finally be properly rated in my eyes.
And no, I just see people say all the time like they were born in the wrong era.
Yeah,
they really were.
Which they were.
Them and all the other lyricists, because TikTok is just TikTok. That's a whole nother video.
Yeah, that's a whole nother video on how TikTok
is just
ruined
killing
music.
lyrics and
they were born in the wrong generation because now we're in the. I feel like the generation of music now is like the hyper pop, the rock hip hop, the game type beats. That's what the music era we're in right now.
Oh no, we were talking about
this earlier. Okay. 21 Savage is overrated.
Slightly?
No, overrated.
Really?
It's not slightly. It's
are you a little bit salty?
Maybe I'm a little bit salty. Maybe there's a little bit of bias in there.
Explain.
But let me explain. So, rap does their polls, which rap you can't trust them as a source of information. But rap, and it's been all over the internet. Polls.
Don't blame rap. It's their community.
I'm not blaming rap.
Yeah.
But
the people that follow.
But a lot of the community is people who follow like rap in general. Yeah. They did a poll. Who had the better 2022? 21 Savage or Drake? 21 Savage won. Now, you may ask yourself, what did 21 Savage do in 2022? He had the collab with Drake. Okay, that was good. That was really good. 21 Savage did his thing on that. What else did he do? Features. Okay, not bad. But beating out Drake? Drake dropped an album. Dropped another album. When he did features, they were really good. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, 21 Savage had a better 2022 than Drake. Lil Yachty.
As what?
Underrated.
Okay.
Which is a new thing. Because, actually, now that I think about it, it's been a while of a thing. No one ever really talked about Yachty. But they bashed his new album. Which, understandable. It wasn't for most people. I didn't like it at first. Went back, listened to it. We've talked about this. You should have forced yourself to...
Some people bashed it, but a lot of people loved it.
A lot of people liked it.
It was... because it was a love it or hate it.
Yeah, it was a love it or hate it. And
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't bash it.
How we talked about force yourself to listen to something, this is not one of those things. I went back, I listened to it when I was more of in a mood. I was like, this is good. And part of the reason why I think Yachty is underrated is because maybe even he's underrated and underappreciated because you got to think about all the songs he's wrote for people. He's wrote countless of songs, and the biggest one that comes to mind is the one with City Girls. I just seen him clip a cussing that and singing this the other day, word for word. The one's like, don't give up, that one, 8-figure, that one. That was, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Had to censor every other word, but y'all got the point.
And ever since like One Night and stuff, that time period in between One Night and currently, like people don't talk about him when he's dropped hits, man. You want to say anything about anybody else said so far?
About anybody said so far? I mean, I think 21 was better than Uzi. I think Uzi's over.
Now he's just trying to get me mad. Mike Dimes. If you know me.
As what?
Properly rated now. I think he finally gets the hype he deserves.
He's properly rated?
Properly rated.
Okay.
He gets talked about a lot. People are like, oh, Mike Diamond up. Okay, so this is the thing that I think about. If everybody is collectively
he
agreeing... He
cannot speak today.
I can't. If everybody is collectively agreeing that you are underrated, you are not properly rated.
Yeah,
because then everybody's shining the light on you.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's been saying. That he's oh, Mike Dimes is so underrated. He's so up and coming. Which he is. He dropped the album, In Dimes We Trust. Fire. He's dropped the singles. Fire. Like Heavy Metal. I jam that song, bro. If you go back when we made the first video, I said Mike Dimes was underrated because he didn't get talked about enough. Now he's getting talked about enough. People are appreciating how good he is. So I think he's properly rated now.
Alright, so I have a pretty obvious topic. At least I think it's obvious.
Alright.
But Ice Spice is completely overrated. Obviously.
I have that too, I think.
Nah, she slept on. Yeah, she's overrated.
I have Ice Spice as properly rated. But I could say slightly overrated. I could agree with slightly overrated. Go, give me your take.
I wasn't even saying slightly overrated, bro. I think she's overrated.
Give me your take. Give me your take. So maybe you could sway my mind.
Give me my take.
All right. The take on why you say that.
It's TikTok hits, bro. That's all she has.
You think it's all TikTok hits?
She has the body. She shakes around on TikTok with a nice little snippet. That's how she blew up with Munch, bro.
That is true. I indeed wrote a conclusive essay on this.
He actually did. She has a lazy flow, lazy lyricism. She does have the voice for it. I'll give her that. But I mean, the only reason she blew up was because of her looks.
You're not wrong. Because TJ Flora and then Drake flew her out on top of that.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason she blew up. And in my essay, I wrote in Ice Spice's favor, and that all this stuff didn't matter, and she wrote it because she blew up because she was good. I disagree with that. I just did it for the grade. But I could agree with that. She does make TikTok hits, and she blew up because she was she blew up because of her body. But I don't know. On the flip side of that, she actually has some catchy flows. Like recently on the songs she's been doing have been they've been catchy flows. She has catchy flows. But I can agree with the fully overrated. I don't know. I'm kind of sitting at maybe slightly overrated though. Next, Rod Wave. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Properly rated.
Properly.
I think a lot of people talk about him. Alright. I don't listen to Rod Wave, but I respect it. I respect him. I see what people are saying on why he's so good. Why he's good.
That's exactly
I don't it's not my kind of music, but I see where they're coming from on the song.
I think he has an amazing singing voice.
Yeah, I agree.
But his music gets repetitive in my ears. But I can understand someone liking it.
My next take, Cardi B. Properly rated.
Okay.
Except for one album. Her first album that went all platinum and was the first to be done. No, I don't agree with that. That's overrated. But currently, she can back up. This she talks a lot of trash and stuff. She's a troll, valid, but her music is actually not bad. She's got the lyrics, she's got the flow, she's got the rapping ability.
You're not wrong. She can rap.
The production.
She can rap.
She can rap. She be going crazy on the Tomorrow 2 remix. I bash it because the people hated on us for our reaction, but it was cold. It was cold. Her flow on that was cold. To me, a year ago when we made this video, I'd say overrated.
Yeah.
But now,
around the time of WAP.
Yeah.
Probably.
Doechii, someone we've been discovering more about on this channel.
Fire.
Underrated. So underrated.
Very good.
Y'all should check her out though. We're not endorsements for Doechii. I wish we were. Maybe
or if you want to check her out with us, you can watch our reactions.
Check the videos out. Duh.
Even better.
Right.
Even better. Overrated. Suic de Boys. Where did this hype come from? This random spark just started happening on TikTok out of nowhere. No one talked about them. And out of nowhere, they had so many fans on TikTok.
Yes.
Do you not agree with me?
I know, I agree. I was snapping.
Their fan base has grown immensely so quickly. And I don't get the hype at all.
Yeah. It's that emo depression music, man.
It's
for some reason weird. It has a chokehold on people.
I don't understand it. That, and then while we're already there, Lil Peep, I think is extremely overrated as well.
I don't think he's extremely overrated. One, we can't really judge that off the sample size we have. But two, I think he makes some solid music. Maybe I think he's properly rated now. Slightly overrated. Because he does get a lot of hype for that reason.
Right. And he did start the whole term mumble rap wave and all that.
We had a friend who
Sorry,
said that
inside
to us.
joke,
We had a friend who said that to us. But while we're on the topic, X.
Yeah, might as well.
Slightly overrated. I messed with the old X. The new X wasn't for me. I get the message. I get the thing. But, you know, ever since he died, he talked about too much. It's a little bit too much. Like, it's died down recently. No pun intended. But it's died down recently.
That's horrible.
And I think that... I still think he's good, don't get me wrong. But I just...
Talented, definitely.
Talented. Extremely talented. Gone too soon, yes. But, I don't know. I think he talked about a little too much. Now, on the next one... Or, actually, do you want to say something? Right,
not really. I think he's very good, but
yeah.
everyone be saying like pocket his time and all that.
Yeah.
I don't get that talk,
nah.
but yeah, gone too soon for sure.
On to the next one, Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
Where do you think I have this? Where do you think I have him?
Slightly overrated.
Nah.
No. Perfectly.
Slightly underrated, actually.
What?
My take has changed. Let me double check with this.
Nah, this is huge, y'all. This is huge, y'all.
I believe I have slightly underrated, and hear me out.
Okay.
Off the new songs that dropped. This is where my form has gone. The new songs that dropped, people have been talking about a lot, other than Juice fans, that Juice makes sad music and only sad music. Obviously, I disagree with that. If you hear some of you don't even have to go to unreleased for this. You have to go to
that's what I was saying all the time.
From Death Race for Love, there's some really good music, like non-depressing songs on there.
There's some raw rap songs, there's some
Right.
hype songs. You got some everything on there.
Obviously, as a Juice fan, you would know.
Yes,
And
I'm Juice fan.
Right. Legends Never Die. As much as I hate on that album for the numbers it did, there's non-depressing songs on that. And then Fighting Demons. The Fighting Demons album was literally about fighting demons, and there's non-depressing songs on that, which y'all would know if y'all didn't underrate that album so heavily.
That's very true.
So I have him. The numbers he does still, a little off-putting to me. They're kind of starting to fall back in line for where I feel. Where I feel he should be. But I feel he's underrated in the terms of his abilities and what he can do. When people talk about him, they talk about 1, sad music, 2, freestyles.
Extremely true.
His freestyles were great, but that wasn't his best abilities.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think his freestyles were great. People put him up there with the greatest of all time. I disagree. No, maybe let me go do my. Yeah, I don't think he's one of the greatest of all time.
Oh no.
I think people say that because they don't know too many freestylers. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
So, I mean, if I knew more freestylers, then I'd be able to judge, but I can't really judge on that. But I think I disagree from where I'm at now. But I think his flow and his vocals and the way he delivers it together is his best ability. And the way he can go from flowing to starting hitting the high notes and stuff.
Yeah.
And the way he can do it without auto-tune.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And people don't realize that. So that's why I was slightly underrated. And it'd be... Actually, in terms of the music, it'd be underrated if his numbers weren't so high.
That's fair.
That's why
his numbers are crazy because he's a posthumous artist, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's my take on it.
That was a very
you weren't expecting
valid
it,
debate. No, that caught me off guard. Yeah, no.
Typically, I don't talk about Juice in this fashion, but since his numbers died down, that's why. You look at my last take on him, it was overrated.
It's because they've been gatekeeping the new album for forever.
That too.
They dropped a couple of singles, which all pretty good singles.
I agree.
In my head, was Sometimes last year.
Sometimes, well, it was 2 years ago.
It was 21?
It was late 22, because I remember I was in chemistry when it dropped.
Yeah. Sometimes, and then...
Sometimes, and...
In My Head, it was great.
In My Head was amazing. Face to Face was...
The light's grown on me. I like the light now. Face to Face was alright.
It was missing a verse, though, I think. Well, I feel like it was just missing a verse, another verse.
Face to Face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was incomplete, and they dropped it. In My Head was great. Out of the 3 of those that dropped, Face to Face, In My Head, and Light. In My Head was the best. It was amazing. Alright, my next, since I was doing it, when I was thinking about it, I had Meg Thee Stallion. I put underrated.
Underrated is kind
But I think I might change it to slightly underrated because she can rap really good, and her music is not bad. But people are distracted from the way she looks and with the Tory Lane stuff. I feel like people are distracted by the actual music she makes. For a while they weren't, and she got best woman or best rapper of the year award, and I was like, whoa, that was overrated. But that was because she was one of the newest women rappers, and it was a movement at the time. So if we take away from the movement, she can actually rap. We said that in a freestyle too when we reacted to that.
That's very true.
Next after Meg got Travis Scott. Travis Scooter, the Fortnite dude, properly rated.
Yeah.
Because he still gets talked about. Properly. What do you think?
I would say slightly overrated.
Slightly overrated?
I don't understand the hype behind him. I honestly don't.
That's valid. That is valid take. I think his music's just, I guess, good. It's nothing special. It's nothing crazy. Like, for the amount he gets talked about and maybe, like, the numbers he does, I feel like it's just there. It's good. It's solid. Proper.
Well, Astroworld is one of the... I saw something about this. It's one of the 9 rap albums with over, like, 6 billion streams or something like that.
Astroworld, for the most part, is not bad, though. It's got some really good songs on it.
It's a valid project.
But I think if we separate Travis from the rest of the people, he doesn't do anything extraordinary.
That's... Yeah.
Like, if you put on a Travis song, obviously I'll know it because he has a distinct voice. But I'm like, dang. But if you put on a Travis song to a casual, they're going to vibe to it. But they're not going to tell it different from, like, an A$AP Rocky song.
Yeah. Alright, I still have a name.
You got something now?
I don't know where I would put him, though. But I think a name that we need to talk about is Baby.
Baby?
Where would you put Baby?
I think he's properly rated.
I think that's valid.
With the album he just did and the numbers it got. I know I'm talking about numbers a lot, but that's the distinguishing feature for overrated, underrated, and properly rated.
What we be talking about over here.
Yeah, that's the distinguishing feature.
The numbers doesn't say if it's good or not, obviously, but
the numbers
it does say if they're underrated or over. Right.
Yeah. All right, but back to Baby. I'm properly rated though. That's where I have him because he's really good, and people regard him as one of the best of our generation.
Yeah.
Which is it's like, it's a valid take. He'd be top 10, low key. He'd be top 10.
Definitely. I'd say easily top 10.
But, yeah, properly rated.
Number 1?
Number 1, no. Outside of the top 10, probably not. Maybe, like, from the range of, like, 8 to 12. Or just off the top of my head. 8 to 12 range. Or maybe 8 to 15 range. Like, he's good, though. He makes really good music. His flows, his delivery, really good. His versatility is not even the greatest.
This is true. What was that one song, bro? We reacted to it, and we were like, bro, you were like, this is why Baby should not switch up his sound.
And some people shouldn't switch up their sound.
That's very true.
Well, Baby, let's get on to Durk. Lil Durk.
Okay.
I believe I know what I have him at, yeah.
I would say slightly overrated, but I would love to hear your take.
Overrated.
Completely overrated.
Completely overrated.
Okay.
He has a few songs that I mess with. And it's not even that I mess with. It's not that I mess with.
He's struggling, y'all.
The reason that he's overrated is not because I don't mess with him. It's because of the hype he gets for how good he is. He's not that good. He can't do music outside of a feature. People, bro, Durk's features are so far. That's the thing. Do that on your own song. You can't do that for more than a minute and a half. So that's why you're overrated, in my opinion. You're doing, like, people talk about you so much for your features, but you can't do it on your own song. If all your songs were a minute and a half, maybe you'd be good then. Not saying that he's
that's
not
extremely
good, but
true.
maybe you'd be great. But your
just
songs are
no hook in every single song.
No hooks, just
he's a feature artist.
On the top of King Von.
Yeah, I was just because we were just talking about Durk. Yeah. I was gonna go on Devon.
What would you say?
Slightly overrated.
Over?
Only because it's just the posthumous aspect. He just...
Alright.
No, well, actually, he might be perfectly rated now.
Perfectly rated?
But when his death was fresh, he was definitely overrated, that's a given. That's gonna happen.
I think he's
I think he's fairly rated now.
I think slightly underrated. And my take on this is, he gets overshadowed by Durk. People are saying Durk's better than Von.
Okay, that's
but I think Von's better than Durk. The flows are better, the deliveries are better, the features are better.
And he could storytell.
He could storytell. He could make his own music. Like, he made his own music, and it was all hard.
Sure. Yep.
And he didn't get the number. Well, he got the numbers on the crazy stories, but outside of that, didn't really get the numbers. People are saying Durk's better. He can't do it without Durk. Did it without Durk. Did it better than without Durk. Who I had after Travis was Tyler, the Creator.
As
properly rated.
Properly. Okay.
Oh, dude, a lot of the white girls talk about it.
That's
very true. You call me racist, you want. I can name
it's
so
very
many
true.
right now.
It's just his fan base. You can't lie.
His fan base. He makes good music. His numbers are good. It's all where it should be. Everything's where it should be for, how good he is. So properly, in my opinion. Trippie Redd. Slightly underrated.
Okay.
He hasn't dropped in a while. Yes. Hasn't even dropped any
We've
singles.
been waiting for
We've
Love
been
Letter
waiting
2.5
forever.
Wait, dropped the
He dropped the album. He
Wow.
dropped the album.
We both
Why
just
did we just say that he didn't drop it forever? He
Okay,
dropped that album.
He dropped the album.
Which was underwhelming because we were expecting Love
It was
2.5. But it was
yes,
good. It was good.
it was good for like the first half.
Yeah. It had too
Which-
many features.
He threw on the first half was fire, and then it felt like he was just like, these are filler songs that I'm not gonna use, so I'm just gonna throw them on the end
Slap
of the
'em
album.
somewhere, yeah.
Just
It's like slapping.
because the first half was great, and then the second half was
It was
not
yeah. It was.
but
yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
But I've just been in the Love Letter to You vibe.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that
that's
Love
valid.
Letter to You vibe.
It's valid.
But he's definitely underrated.
Yeah, I don't think he's talked about nearly enough for how good he actually is. People talk about his hits because they're hits, but after that, they don't talk about him. Nav,
As
underrated. Nobody talks about Nav. Like Nav is one of those people nobody
you're
talks
not
about.
wrong at all.
And his last album, Last of the Mohicans, so good. It had so many great songs. The storytelling, immaculate. The vibe, immaculate. Like all the songs, the rapping ability, immaculate. Nobody talks about Nav. Nobody's. If I find somebody whose favorite artist is Nav, I'm gonna be shook. I'm gonna be shook. Because nobody talks about him. And he makes fire V1. I heard this on the Joe Biden podcast, and it made me think of Quavo and Offset. Quavo, overrated. Offset, slightly underrated. Takeoff, he was probably rated until he passed away. Slightly overrated. Overrated, actually. Because, you know, every rapper goes through that. But, and Joe Biden brought up a great point. The Migos themselves are not bad, but the Migos together is what makes the Migos. The Migos without the Migos are not the Migos.
The Migos
He said it something
individually
like that.
are like par average rappers,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But what
when they
makes
come
them-
together, their creativity
Right.
sparks and makes some fire music.
Next is Dababy. Slightly underrated. He talks about Dababy. People say he needs to switch it up. He's
It's
good.
very true. His most recent project wasn't the best though.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, it's fire. I mean, obviously, it has to do with him getting canceled.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he was getting hyped up for a minute there.
Yeah, he was.
And he was fire. It was
on a great
deserved.
streak, and then
He was fire.
said what he said.
Yeah, and then, and they got taken off that
Understandable.
Dua Lipa song, which
Yeah.
at the end of the year was like #1.
Yeah, it was so
He would've
good,
had such a
and
bag if
he
he-
was so great. Kim Carson's probably rated because he's not talked about as much. But DestroyLonely is getting way too much hype for no reason.
That's fair.
I don't understand what he's saying half the time, and I listen to Uzi.
He's a Cardi clone. He's
Yeah.
quite literally a Cardi
So was
clone.
Kim Carson. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. But I think Kim Carson's properly rated because he actually makes like solid music, and you can understand what he's saying is like good vibe and stuff. But DestroyLonely, I don't get what hype came from.
Yeah.
It was random.
Very random.
Glorilla, overrated. I don't know,
Overrated.
female artist, too much hype. She's not that good. Sounds like she has a stuffy nose. Pop Smoke quality. Pop Smoke. I didn't even put him
Pop
on here.
Smoke.
Now
Talk
that
about
I'm
all the other
thinking about it,
posthumous rappers.
Pop's famous rapper. He had so much potential.
Really
But
did.
potential's only there. Potential's the biggest what if.
Right.
And I don't mess with what ifs for real. But he was good for what he had. He was really good. And then he had an album his label dropped that was just incomplete and kind of like fizzled it out all for him.
It was
really
just
messed
thrown
it up.
together.
Yeah, it was just thrown
Very
together.
roughly
And
thrown
everything was
together.
incomplete.
It was rough.
Doechii the Don. I'm the biggest DC the Don activist y'all probably will ever meet. He's
That's not
underrated. It's plain and simple put. I've talked about it so much. He's underrated. If people like Yeat and stuff with this
Makes no
hyperpop
sense.
can get
Makes no
all this love, why shouldn't DC get the love? DC does the same thing, but even better. And DC, he's versatile. He can sing. He can rap. He's got the melodies. Like, it's crazy. I don't get why he doesn't get this. Like, I don't get why he doesn't get the hype. And it's not like he doesn't have hits. He has hits. Like, Worst Day, Clips, all that stuff. Hits. DC needs to get more love. Logic, slightly overrated for every reason imaginable. He's not good anymore. Forgot how to make music. Some reason he randomly is getting a bunch
He
of hype
is
again.
getting a lot of hype on
Random.
on TikTok,
Don't know why.
especially.
Underrated. I don't know.
This is
I don't know
outrageous.
how we've come to this point.
This is outrageous.
Nobody, like, he made graduation. That's what people say. Like, he made graduation. That's a legitimate thing. He made graduation.
Yes, in the music discussion, yes. He's debatably a legend, honestly.
Debatably. No. Is a legend.
Legend's a big term.
And he deserves legend. People call Juice WRLD a legend.
Okay, well,
Kanye's
that's not
easily a legend.
deserved.
It's not deserved. Kanye's a legend.
Alright, I have something to say.
What?
Alright. So it has come to my attention, right? You haven't given the album a chance, which is fine. I respect that. I decided to give the NF album a chance.
Oh.
And everyone in hip hop was talking about it. And I was like, why is everyone hyping up NF all of a sudden? So I checked out the album. It was great. Honestly, like 13 songs, no skips. That's how you do an album, in my opinion, not throwing 30 filler songs on an album. It was great. The message was there, the lyricism, the vibe, the beats, the production was all very good. NF has 9 million subscribers on YouTube. Do you know that?
Yeah, because he's a Christian rapper. Well, yeah. I don't know if he still is. I haven't listened to him, but that's what blew him up.
Yeah.
And he's not Let You Down. I know you know Let You Down.
Yeah. But yet, I don't know. He's unique in the sense that he can hype you up without talking about killing somebody, throwing money on a stripper.
Yeah.
You don't gotta talk about popping Xannies and perks, and he gets you hype, or he can make you feel. He has a song called Mama on that album where he talks about his mom going up to heaven and all that, and he talks about all of his regrets, and he didn't really respect his mom that much, and he regrets all this, and he forgives her for what she did to him because she was an addict and she overdosed, and he has all this struggle. It was honestly a great album, and it has come to my attention that NF is underrated in the sense that he does not get talked about. No, he's
underrated. Or
yeah,
what?
no, definitely underrated. Obviously, I need to listen more of his music before I can even give him like that. But based off the new album,
Brent Fayaz, that's somebody I had on here.
Brent Fayaz.
Underrated. Nobody talks about Brent Fayaz in the hip hop scene when he makes really good hip hop music. He's kind of like more hip hop R&B. He's still fire though. Wasteland. Nobody talked about that last year. Like, how do you have a song with Drake as a feature on your album, but nobody talks about it?
Yeah, that is wild.
And he has a few songs on TikTok, but he's great. Gunna. Overrated.
Yeah.
I don't get how the album put P-Power. People talked about that like it was good. It was not good. I didn't mess with that album. Not good. Gunna's overrated. And lastly on my list is Tecca. People talk about Tecca for summer music. And I think that's more of a meme. Which he makes great summer music. It's a valid take. Tecca has perfect summer music. But that's like, oh man, just wait for Tecca to save the summer. Like, that's a legitimate meme.
It is.
But I don't, like, Tecca can legitimately save the summer with his music.
He can, but he only drops on the summer.
Yeah, or
that's
like
why.
Randomly.
If you drop more consistently, then yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
People don't talk. We love you, Tecca. We love you, Tecca. Great album. Oh snap! I'm phasing out right now. It's like not focusing. But we love you, Tecca. It's an insane album. It's insane. Like no skips. Like it's like 20 something songs I think, but 0 skips. Like how do you do that? Let us know how you. So that's the end. You got any closing comments?
Nah.
Let us
covered
know
everyone I could think of.
Yeah. If you think we missed somebody, let us know. I think we hit like all of the big people, and
if you think our takes are outrageous, think we said someone's underrated, it's overrated. Vice versa. Let us know for sure.
Which we'll have some controversial takes of this.
For sure. There were some hot takes said. I agree.
Yeah, but that's okay. They call me T-Sizzle because my takes are sizzling. You know what I'm saying? But my takes are hot, but my women are hotter. What I say, yeah. Let us know how y'all feel about this. You know?
Should we do more salad videos like this? Let us know.
It was fun. It's only an hour too.
It is.
Yeah.
Only an hour.
Like, comment, subscribe. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So party. Peace out.
Bro's got a point.